Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Freedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs. And welcome to another edition of Inside PressBox. I'm your host, Stan the Fan Charles. The Baltimore Ravens stand at 6-2 at the halfway point in the season, but is the glass half empty or half full? Inside PressBox reporter Derek Watte will join our friend Joe Platani, our beat writer out at Owings Mills, and they'll take a look at that. We'll also take a spin out to lovely Laurel Racecourse and catch up with the state of Maryland racing in the person of Maryland's Jockey Club's president, Tom Chukas, who just returned from the Breeders' Cup in California. But first, we're going to turn our attention to hoops and the stylings and the prospects of the 2012-2013 Stevenson Mustangs with second-year head coach Gary Stewart, who joins us. And I might add at the outset that Stevenson's going to host their first ever annual Hoopsville tournament that's coming up next week. Gary, we welcome you to the program.
Stan, thank you.
Got to ask you, first of all, this is your second year at Stevenson. You've had a long career in college basketball. You just admitted to me off the air you're upset that you hadn't known about lacrosse because it would have changed your life before. But tell us the differences. You've coached at each level. You were at UCal, Davis. You were at Laverne in Division II.
Three.
That was Division III. But you've coached each of the levels, 1, 2, and 3. What are the real differences besides talent?
Well, it's interesting, Stan. They're more similar than they are different. But the one huge thing that separates them is the resources, the finances that are spent at Division I, and really the high-powered Division I programs, the ones that are in the Big Six conferences. I say that now. I don't know if there are 6 conferences with all the jockeying around there, but those programs throw an inordinate amount of money, and they're able to do a lot with it.
Now, this might sound like a funny way of asking the question. You're at Division III now, but do you find it a much more sane environment that's more like leading a normal life? I know you got some of the same pressures on you that you would at UCal Davis, or that Gary Williams would have had at Maryland, or Mark Turgeon has there now, but is this a little bit more sane?
Well, I don't know if it's sane. I felt like Division I was a great level and worked with some terrific student athletes. I have that at Stevenson. There is a commitment to winning at Stevenson, and you certainly want to uphold that commitment. But I have found that the courts are still the same length, the basket's still the same height, and we're going to prepare and give the kids an enriching experience. So that the preparation and all that, whether it's practice or games, takes an inordinate amount of time.
Is that theory of relativity, is that the same with the kids? Do they want to win as much once the whistle goes off and the game starts? Do they want to win as much at either level?
Well, I think our kids are extremely passionate about basketball and committed to getting better every day. And I have not noticed a delineage between levels in that respect. Our kids get in the weight room, they study, they come to practice every day to prepare and to get better. And they have dreams and aspirations too of competing past their collegiate experience.
When I met you last year, right after you were hired, I met you over at Stevenson with Brett Adams, your AD over there. And incidentally, a question about that. What's it like having an AD that is a basketball coach? Is that different? Do you find that it's somebody you can turn to when things aren't going smoothly? Or do you try and keep your distance when things aren't going so smoothly?
No, it's a huge advantage. He's an unbelievable resource. He's has a wealth of experience. He understands Stevenson. He understands the conference. He understands the level of play. He understands getting a team into a national tournament. He's great to bounce things off of. The other night we were in the office for 45 minutes on sideline out of bounds play. So I mean, that's terrific. You just don't get that with a person that hasn't been in the trenches like he has. So it's been wonderful. And then couple that, Stan, with the fact that he's a wonderful, wonderful person. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Well, he's also a marketing guy too. And I know the Pride of Maryland, which we met under those circumstances last year, that is now a defunct tournament. It was a long-time tournament here with the Division III schools in the general area. But you and Brett have hatched, with the help of Dave McHugh, have hatched a new tournament at Stevenson that's going to debut next week.
Yeah, the Pride of Maryland was a terrific tournament and one of a kind. And Brett was instrumental in helping that get started. And I approached him about replacing that somehow. And I'm very fortunate. At Stevenson, Dr. Kevin Manning, our president, has an edict that says that we want to be excellent in everything that we do. And obviously that includes athletics, and he wants a top 25 athletic department. And we want to do things well, and we want to do things at an elite level. And so understanding and working from that premise, I was able to approach Brett about an idea of doing something here on campus, and Brett took it from a 4-team tournament really to let's do it and let's do it well.
Well, it's unheard of. I mean, it's 8 teams over the whole weekend next weekend at Stevenson, night on Friday night, night and day on Saturday, correct?
Correct.
And then Sunday some afternoon basketball.
Correct.
But you've got 8 schools. Now we got about a minute to go. Transylvania from Kentucky, Franciscan from Ohio, I believe it is.
Correct.
Gallaudet Catholic from D.C., Randolph-Macon from Virginia, UMass Boston, and I know I'm leaving St. Mary's of Maryland,
right,
who were in the Pride of Maryland tournament off and on. This looks like a great tournament. How are people able to get tickets?
Well, they can call our Stevenson Athletic Department. It has been well received, so we expect a good crowd, and we'd love for anybody that has some interest to come down and check out either one day of games or stay for the entire weekend. And
it's available also on the Stevenson website.
Correct.
Go Mustangs.
sports.com.
All right.
Right.
Gary Stewart, many thanks.
Dan, my pleasure.
Best of luck in year 2 at Stevenson.
Thank you so much, Dan.
All right. Thank you for joining us. When Inside PressBox returns, we'll head to Laurel Park, and we'll talk with the Maryland Jockey Club's president and CEO, Tom Chukas. So don't go away. Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Freedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.